Testing, check. The Everfull Chalice, the seductive nightmare. We will be beginning to play shortly. Some of the other players arrive. And while it goes without saying, I will say it anyway. Thank you so very much for being here. Welcome. And hopefully you enjoy what follows as much as we do. Thank you. Hey Rick, how's it going?
Hello.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome in. I am just getting things situated for us. I'm going to step away for a quick few moments. I'll be right back. Hello, Samaya. I'll be right along with you in a second. Taking a quick step away. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone else.
Hello. I think it's just me at the minute.
Yeah. Nobody just stepped away for a sec. He will be back.
All right, sounds good.
It gives me a bit of time to get the sheet up and everything.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome in. While we play the others off for time, give them time to arrive. Are there any questions, hypotheses, corners we need to round off, or leaps of logic we need to take?
I guess if we have to do any rolls or whatever, where are we doing them?
In our imagination.
I rolled
Cool.
really well.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I didn't fail that last roll.
Not at all.
What do you mean? Just because I have no dice doesn't mean I didn't roll very well? What, you don't trust me?
We trust you in the same way we trust each and every last role player from the very dawning of time until now. And here's the thing. Role players also include the DM, GM, storyteller, and game designers.
Very true.
We are nearly all gathered. We are, in fact, simply waiting on Devin. Not Devin. Lacey, yes. Yes. That's the word. Lacey. Anyone seen her?
Nope.
Go and check your pockets for the last pants you bought. See if she's there.
I just ran most through the wash, so we may have new problems.
You know. That's to be expected, after all. Problems are what unites us, what allows us to be us. With my name from that, we don't need me there. There we go, much better. And correct that number.
You want a lollipop?
Oh, no, but thank you. I shouldn't have sweets this late in the evening.
Are you sure? It's a Tootsie Pop.
Yes, especially that. Especially that.
Oh.
No tootsies. Though it was a fine movie.
I don't think...
Haven't seen it.
You are denying yourself an unmitigated pleasure of its time.
Well, then, I shall add it to the list.
To the list!
So, I don't know much about Tootsie Pops. They're not a big thing in England.
Why, hello. Hi, Lacey.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hold on, there's such names.
So, as we have all gathered. No, that doesn't quite have the right tone. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to engender and enjoying the engagement of all of these myriad of individuals together in a full and hopefully enjoyable relationship going forward. We shall commiserate, congratulate, and unfortunately sometimes mourn what comes next. Is everyone prepared?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
ready as I'll ever be.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
I think I need to add her saying canoe, but I'll do that quick while we do other stuff.
It is with all due pleasure that I say thank you all for arriving. Thank you all for being here. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, Hollywood's Vivid Collusions inaugural episode entitled The Everfull Chalice. Not much to say in regard to everything that Hollywood, Florida is. And even as there's not much to say, veritable encyclopedias, a plethora of bibliographies and Wikipedia entries, and an entire library of libraries has been written and jotted down. In all things, when humans are concerned, there's a grandiosity to it. Everyone before now wants to enshrine themselves for posterity. So the thoughts, the assumptions, the ideas, the perceptions, history really is written by the victors. Which goes without saying, even as much as we know that what we take as factual evidence is only ever the perceptional ideas of those who jot it down. Same breath of understanding. We turn our gaze to Hollywood, Florida, a city that is formerly the cusp of the civilized world that is the Camarilla. That was formerly the battlefront, the sword edge of its control here in mid-South Florida. Hollywood was the last bastion of civilization that was the western front for all troubles for the capital of the area, Fort Lauderdale. Hollywood was the last step before going right over the edge into the hedonistic, animalistic, Sabat-controlled Miami. And then that all changed. And while everyone knows that change doesn't happen without discomfort, facing that discomfort is not an easy thing to do. Each of the characters of the coterie have had a relative comfortable existence because they knew or know who they are. They would put money on understanding who they individually are. They have an idea, they had an idea, they knew what it took to get ahead and how to balance against all of the barbarians at the gate, the Sabats from the south, east, the Anarchs filtering in from points due elsewhere. They knew how to comport themselves and how to deal. And then, like a very failed magic trick, someone snatched the tablecloth off the table very slowly. Glasses tumbling, plates akimbo, a mess and more. So the very orderly understanding of the world around them shifted and changed into what it is now. It is still very much the western edge of the civilized Camarilla, but it is also very much not the very battlefront. Things are complacent. the bonds of unity that were there because you all together and separately were facing the hoary hordes of the uncivilized, the primogen of two, Prince, Scourge, Sheriff, all knew their place in their roles. You all were each in your own way part of the us and not part of the other. And now those definitions changing. Now us isn't what it was once considered to be. Some of you all are on the very edge of that circle of us. Some of you all are drifting over the edge. Some of you all are firmly in the bosom of the center of what that us means. And even that is changing by the moment. Even that is changing by the night. Every year. Milda, though no one would say that to her face, Prince Bogach seems to be losing her grip. After the wars of the past, it would be natural to understand that anyone would grow tired and complacent with peace. And that is what seems to be happening. Such, each of you all, several weeks ago, some several months ago, received an invitation. Several whiles ago, you all received an exclusive invite to a gathering where, reportedly, all of your needs would be satiated. All of your wants would be considered and measured, and depending on how successfully you won over the host of the evening, your heart's desire at a cost would be yours to be had. Such invitations usually are admissions or acceptance into a privy council, the small council that whispers deeply into the ear of whoever is the prince. Oftentimes those invites are just to another Elysian because, let's just call it what it is, everyone wants to throw the party of the century. Yeah, there's something about this particular invite that, unlike all of the other junk mailers and the skullduggery that happens when so many kindred are in one place at one time, this one had the air of legitimacy. One spoke to you all because there was a level of secrecy and exclusivity in how you received it. So, once more with the feeling, thank you all. This is officially the Everfull Chalice, and in alphabetical order by first name, we will go down the list as to how you received the invitation and how long ago you actually received it. Everyone take a moment, deep breath, and then we'll begin at the top.
All right. You want to ask? You want me to say how long ago I received the invitation?
Yes.
I think I probably didn't get it very quickly, or maybe I got it but didn't notice. And I think it's probably something Ryan had to remind me about. And at some point, she pointed out, maybe asked me if I was going, I assume. And then I actually realized what it was.
And sliding right along, Lacey.
Probably fairly recently. It probably would have been on one of those times she popped home for the night to eat, and like her older sister gives her, "You got this weird fucking envelope." And Mom said I couldn't open it, even though it looks really cool. And, like, handed it to her. And she took it. And just, okay, wandered back off. So now, for the night, kind of comes to it with it in her pocket and remembers that, oh, it's something I should go to.
Okay. Rick?
I probably would have received mine maybe within the last 2 weeks. Probably quite confused at why there was a sudden envelope at my doorstep, considering the state of my haven and the actual location I live. And because of his current mentality at the minute, he might have been debating it for the past 2 weeks or whether or not he was actually going to show up. But probably received a message from his ever so wonderful debtor to say he needs to attend. So he would be very careful he'd be making some preparations to ensure he's not seen for the most part, considering how he is, and then make his way there.
Yeah.
So Ryan received hers exactly 6 weeks ago. It's been sitting at the center of the kitchen table, waiting for her to look at every single night. She's planned outfits, she planned Ellie's outfit, and she's been making sure that everything has been leading up to this night being perfect.
See? Then, Samaya.
You would have received it several weeks ago and been rather deliciously hoarding it and watching the others to see whether they might have been invited as well, or any kinds of signs that this event has rippled through their relationships. But she's never spoken of it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Do we know how word of this exclusive celebratory moment had arrived? Each of the truth behind all such exclusive moments very much is about keeping the average, the ordinary, the expected out of play. It very much is an act of othering everyone else who had not received an invitation, everyone who does not know about it. The sheer fact of how you all received it, each of you, there's nothing so touching as a personal invite. Even in the world of the kindred, mass mailers exist, though it's not sent through the U.S. Postal Service. Even in the domain of the kindred, there is junk mail, though not to get you to refinance your home or sign an extended contract on your car. There are things that filter from the normal, average, everyday human world into kindred society all the time, most of it to its own detriment. There are certain things that have the resonance of truth about them. There are certain moments, certain glaring things that are undeniable. And the truth of the matter is, the invitation is very much the golden ticket. The invitation, because as you've all received it recently in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, last relative to now, some time removed, you expect to hear whispers, pulled asides, or the, "Oh man, I'm not going to that party. Everybody, mama gonna be over there." You haven't heard that. There hasn't been any of the normal scuttlebutt of gossip. There's not even a whiff of mention that there is such a gathering, let alone who's invited. That always is a troubling factor for the kindred. Because everyone knows everything. The Nosferatu are out there in the dark. The Toreador are listening to the wind. There is always someone who knows and is killing themselves and maybe several other families to be the first to let the world of kindred know something. I have a secret. And you haven't even gotten that. You haven't even heard that. Especially as the invitation of all places that it could be, of all things where this party, this gathering, whatever this is actually Broadwalk. Not just anywhere on the Broadwalk. That Hotel Deco. Which, you know, for those of us who are in the know, for those of us who understand, Hotel Deco is the expected and understood domain of the ambassador of Hollywood. Many realms, many domains across the nation, across the world, have more accurate titles for those in the Primogenic Council, those part of the small council who have the ear of the prince. Some who say are holding the prince's leash to keep them from wreaking havoc on those who don't toe the line. Those people who say that, of course, make sure that they're not overheard actually saying it, that you can't pinpoint who made such an insinuation. But Vinny, as he insists nearly everyone calls him, is the ambassador, who is the acting seneschal, the right hand to Prince Bogach, which places them above the small council, places them above Celeste and Dust and Doc Octavius. The Deco Hotel is Vinny's office. The Deco Hotel is where you can stumble upon the ambassador, have a quiet whispering aside, and have the opportunity of having something bettered for you, at a cost, of course. So a gathering at the Deco Hotel should be the talk of the town, should literally be the thing that is being whispered from Fort Lauderdale, Miami. A gathering of kindred at the Deco Hotel, all over the rags, or the kindred rags, the harpies spreading it, the keepers of Elysium gathering their best dressed, and yet everyone's keeping it on the QT. And it's not only exclusive, it is the super rarefied exclusivity that could make and break a domain. And you all don't have a domain. You don't have an official space that is officially yours, except for your homes and where you traipse. And the beauty of domain in Camarilla City is it is a safety, a security, a castle from which you get to rule as lord of all that the night touches. A domain gives you the first step toward launching yourself into being respected enough to not be fucked with, titled enough to be lugged up to, or powerful enough to be sought after, to be lauded, to be feared. It's a stepping stone to greatness. Being gifted a domain, being able to hold a domain, it is literally the gateway to power. And it's in meetings and exclusive spaces like this where networking can be done and the accumulation of power enough to either free yourself from the rat race or become King Rat is possible. We'll take a few minutes back in time for you all gathered yourself to go. How is it that everyone else is preparing? We know how Ryan is preparing. They are dressed to the nines. They've had designers and they've had seamstresses and tailors preparing things, and they had no idea what it was for, but they were still doing it. Favors being what favors are, blackmail being what blackmail is, and money making everything a little bit more palatable. Favors making money all but useless, but all the same, things were being done. Motions were being made. Activities being completed. How did the rest of you all prepare for your arrival at such a moment?
I figure Elias isn't really excited about going, but he really just feels like he should. And is mostly going at Ryan's insistence, I expect. And also just for keeping up appearances, expect I should go. And so he's still going to put in the minimal effort to actually dress appropriately. Not going too far, but he's at least going to wear a nice outfit. But other than that, he's just not thinking about it too much.
Hey, babe. That's normal, right? Yeah, and she's made sure to, even though Kindred don't typically sweat and stuff, she spends most of her nights out wandering and occasionally gets dusty or dirty. So, clean clothes, something kind of flowy, nice enough. But she puts on like a pair of shorts under just in case she has to run. It's like a bathing suit top because she spends a lot of time near the beach. And like a light duster type thing because she likes that flowiness. It makes things feel good. Leaves her hair kind of undone, the long, somewhat wavy, reddish brown that hits mid-back. So, yeah, she just... Not a lot of care put into it, but she's clean and it's cute. That's where she's at.
Rick is putting absolutely no effort into it. It's the same clothes he always wears. They're caked with dirt, mud, and a bit of blood as well. The only thing he's making extra care of is his face. The most he's basically doing is a old balaclava that he wears when he has to go out in public, when there might be a few people in the streets where he can't safely use unseen passage without the risk of bumping into someone. So he's got his hood up, his face is covered, and he's going to make his way there as fast as possible to limit the risk of being seen out in public with how disfigured he is.
Samaya will be very well styled, dark gown, crimson wrap, and it's a gown that's full enough that she can hide another change of clothes beneath it, because the fact that this party is just not known is both exciting and extremely concerning, and she wants to be able to cast off what she doesn't need to survive if an escape is necessary.
Understandable. So, anyone arriving or attempting to arrive at Hotel Deco with your invitations together?
Rain didn't describe her character. She missed out.
already described their efforts taken.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Ryan would definitely arrive with Elias. She drags him to everything.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
She would have brought the outfit that she picked out for him to change into before leaving, because you're not wearing that standing next to me. No.
Yeah, I probably just had like a short sleeve button down shirt, and she basically told me it wasn't okay.
Much was not, in fact, okay, but that's perfectly fine. Here's the thing. Here's the beauty of Kindred Society. It is 100% as petty as you think it is. It is 100% as cutthroat as you think it is. It is 1000% more about appearances and presentation than you think it is. So, who's the first to arrive? Because this is very important, because here's the thing. As a group, as a coterie, as a gathering of associates who are known to associate, you're not representing yourself. You're not putting forth the so cool that I don't have to pay attention to this when you arrive. Your associations make and break your standing. Your associations make and break your opportunity to actually become strong enough to not be someone's stepping stool specifically, or something to be toyed with until broken. Your associations determine your standing and your ability to be you. So when you arrive at such gatherings, you are not representing you, but you are, in fact, representing your coterie mates. You are, in fact, spending your social lucre of your coterie mates. You are, in fact, sending the message that your coterie mates is either worthy of your respect or not. You are, in fact, flagging to the world whether you are sufficiently bought in to be worthy of the respect of your peers, or you specifically and your coterie mates in general are the next playthings to be broken. So, as you all arrive, who's the first there?
Samaya likes to get there first to see who shows up and how they react. So she would even show up before the listed time, but not necessarily approach the entry to watch to see if any of her other coterie mates or anyone else of significance arrives. And as soon as she sees one of her people, she'll make herself known.
And that's a very, very good thing to do, is you are there at Hotel Deco. It is a tourist trap largely, but it's a tourist trap for the nouveau riche. Those who have more money than common sense. Those who have more money than sense, period. Those who have more money and more time to simply blow on being seen. So as you mix and mingle there at Hotel Deco, you realize that circulating in the well-tailored, beach-ready uniforms of the average members of the staff, there's also an elevated dress, few persons of security milling. You see them gauging who looks like what and who's holding the right invitation. As you settle there in one of the lounge chairs watching the purported interest to where this is happening, because there is always some exclusive thing happening at Hotel Deco. These well-suited security officers who are moving through the rank and file staff members are, of course, looking for invitations. They're gauging dress and making and escorting those who offer or let their invitations be seen into an exclusive mirrored room. A few moments later, the security officer who escorted the person in sits back out, and they're still milling around in the public spaces of Hotel Deco. You were expecting searchlights and helicopters and paparazzi of the kindred variety, but it's not. There's none of the loud, bombastic, in-your-face appeal that you normally experience or have heard about for these sorts of gatherings. And as you sit there, watch and waiting, who's second? Who arrives next?
I would push to arrive exactly when it says it starts.
Yeah, I agree. They would show up exactly when it's supposed to start. Can't be too early. Can't be too eager.
No, not too early. So, as Elias and Ryan arrive, and you all move through the tastefully luxurious ostentation of Hotel Deco, do you all look for anyone? Do you see anyone? Or do you move into the space as if you own it and you're making a scene, you're making an appearance?
I'd definitely be scanning to see who else here and see if there's any. See if I notice trends. Say others from the coterie first of all.
Oh, there's Shemaya right there, tastefully waiting off to the side, watching who comes and who goes.
All right. Yeah, I figured I'd probably walk over there. Say, evening. Looks like you had the invitation as well.
An interesting assumption to make, but that means you do as well. And where's your babysitter?
Oh, she's over there.
Ryan would
I think-
definitely be scanning the crowd, slowly working her way in. She'll find.
So in the midst of this, I'm going to point out that when Subaya next looks to her left, Lacey is just standing there. You don't know when she quite got there, but she's there, and she's just kind of smiling at you. You're here. Hi.
This is starting to look like a full gathering. Where is our dirty friend?
And where's your baby wizard? If the entirety of the coterie is invited.
I guess our baby wizard.
Hopefully he hasn't gotten himself lost in a painting.
So I know we talked about it a little bit beforehand with Rain, but I know some people in the coterie would only really know me through online methods of communication, as he's quite a solitary person. He's still getting used to his new appearance and everything, so you probably wouldn't know what Rick looked like, but he definitely knows what you guys look like. So eventually, after a bit of time, maybe just after you're expected to go into sort of the fashionably late sort of deal, there would be a man in quite dirty clothing kind of walking up, and you kind of might awkwardly kind of just stand there for a little bit before kind of pulling out the invitations, like, well, seems that we're all finally meeting in person.
Nice of you to come out.
Yeah, this is not really my sort of deal, but, well, I've been told to go, so.
Yes, same.
So you would see, he doesn't look that much different to what you may have been expecting, but he's definitely making an effort to keep his head covered and face hidden.
So is he wearing like a hood?
He's got
Just scan the crowd to see if our Tremere friend has wandered through anywhere.
He's wearing a very well-worn hoodie with the hood up, and he's also got sort of, I guess it would be a balaclava, but I guess the best way to describe it is sort of like a motorcycle mask, something that kind of is a bit armored, so it kind of keeps the face shape. So he
Makes
doesn't
sense.
look. He doesn't look that different, but obviously, if he took his hood off, you'd see he's. We'll get into that when it comes to it.
Ryan has conveniently found Tristan in the crowd and makes her way over. Wandering off like always, but hey, we're here now. Glad to see everybody's gotten the invitation.
Pleasure to meet you in person.
Ryan just kind of stiffens a little. Oh, everyone. Yes. Hi. Your emails are very well constructed. Thank you
Yes.
for your information.
Oh, I appreciate it. I put a lot of effort into them.
Well, shall we?
Of course. Let's get
Yes. I see everyone's all dolled up. Apologies for not being able to join you in that. I don't exactly own much.
I'll take care of it next time. Don't worry. Just send me your measurements.
Yeah. I'll be sure to do that.
There's a cost to everything. There's a balance due. Most people balk at the idea of cover. Most people, as much as they complain about it, part of their sense of self is the ability to jump to the front of the line. Part of their sense of self and their value, their largesse, and within their particular community is the ability to not have to pay cover for others. They don't mind in that situation paying cover for themselves, but they don't have to pay cover for their friends, their +1s, +3s, +75s. That's important. It shows their social status. Those of you who understand that are aware that there is always the other shoe to drop. Having a proximity to power, there is an inherent cost. Being able to whisper sweet nothings up the chain of esteem. Being able to act within close proximity to those who hold the reins of power, who change the ebb and flow of things, has an inherent cost. So as you all rise, gather yourselves, fashionably late, you all make it to the attention of the security officers, who are fewer than what had been there moments before. You realize that they're removing themselves from the floor. Well, at least Maya, who have watched them more closely, realize that they're removing themselves from the floor. It's very much the beware of the closing doors situation. The train is pulling out of the station situation. It's the last call for boarding, and then some. Probably, perhaps a bit further past that. Maya?
Sorry, I had the thing lag on me here. I'm afraid I missed anything you might have said in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, we're experiencing lag. That's not very good. Discord, catch up to us. Keep up with us. So, you've noticed that there are fewer and fewer security officers on the floor of the besuited variety.
Yes.
You realize that the time is fleeting very, very quickly. Is there any advice, consideration, conversation you offer to your coterie mates as you all gather yourselves and begin moving in the direction of your lead, because you're the only one who saw where the security officers were leading others to?
Yes, I'm gonna say keep on your guard. I've been watching for far longer than any of you, and the security that was here an hour ago are at least half and dwindling as it stands now. We are walking into something that is not of our usual play.
I see. I'd like to basically try to watch the security guards. I want to see if I can find two basically security guards talking to each other. And then see if I can turn on heightened senses and try to eavesdrop, see if they're saying anything relevant.
If I notice Elias doing that, I will discreetly point out the ones that I know of.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's see if they can provide us any further information.
Is that
Am I
all
able
of
to
them?
find any?
So, as you listen in, is that all of them? Yeah, it seems to be. And then no one else is important. Let's go ahead and close it down. We don't need to wait for anybody else. Yeah, anyone else is clearly not worth the time or effort. Yeah, good thing they closed down. We get to see the dancers. Yeah, that was great last night. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be even better tonight. The big man himself is gonna be there. And as they are the last two, the suited security officers moving towards their destination, is there anything anyone else is doing? You three?
Yeah, I'll say they're talking about getting out everyone important, and said
We
no one
need
left
to
in
move
the
now
room.
if we're going
We
in.
need to go into the place. There's fashionably late, and then there's missing the entry. Let's go.
Yeah,
One.
so we moved that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather get inside as well. I at least want to take this damn fate. I at least want to get this mask off. It's not the most comfortable in the
No,
world.
no. That's fine. You look great. Leave it.
Ah, just wait until I take it off. I'm even more handsome.
As you all make your way towards the door, and as you make your way toward the security officers, who's leading the charge? Who has their invitation out?
Samaya's got hers out, and she is walking while those two are chattering behind her. And there's this little tick of irritation in the way she moves.
Oh, think
The last security officer, as he moves towards the mirrored door, the exclusive walled-off space that no one else has managed to enter, pauses and he frowns at Samaya, looking from her invitation to her, and you can literally watch as he's doing a verbal head count under his breath and his lips moving. Huh. He waits, but you can tell that it's the weight of a person who would much rather be anywhere and everywhere else.
Samaya just stares him down. She's on the edge of gathering darkness around her if it weren't for the fact that this could cause a breach.
Ryan's just going to put her hand on Samaya's shoulder and pull out her own invitation. Is this the way? Are we going to the right room? You don't want to forget us, do you? To the security
Not
guard.
quite. You gotta forgive me, but normally at this point I'm able to take part of the show, and well, you're already 15 minutes into it, and that's usually where everything warms up. But fine. Suppose the six of you are the last ones. You're not gonna have a great seat. You're not gonna have a great space. You're not gonna be close, but you know, last is better than
You're drawing
last is
this
better than not
out.
at all. I am. I don't. Yeah, fuck. It's always bumpier being the last assholes. Come on, where's you six are the? Yeah, come on. It's the six of you. Come on. And he steps forward, pulling the door open. You're expecting to see something vibrant, flashing lights, or what have you. Instead, you see a crane that is clearly in a lower level. You would step into the crane car, and it's going to be lowered. You're not sure what's down there, because there shouldn't be anything down there this close to the fucking beach. But exclusivity is exclusivity.
Damn.
Samaya steps aboard, turns, and gives everybody a look of, you better get on this thing now, or there will be hell to pay.
Yeah, I'm immediately on.
I'll walk past. I will also.
Okay.
I'll kind of pull my invitation out of my pocket and kind of like hold it in two fingers and kind of just hold it up to the guard as I walk past him, not really talking to him.
Ryan will join them on there, pulling Tobias with her. There's a new Tobias.
And of course, when they turn around, Lacey's already on.
The name was Tristan.
As you all make your way in and step onto the crane, he closes the door and you can hear a magnetic bolt sliding into place. Operating as if it's a catch lock, which makes no sense because everyone else simply opened the door and closed the door. There's been nothing to it. But hearing that sound of a magnetic bolt slamming home is a different sort of feeling. It's a sort of feeling that prisoners have their first night in jail. That clink, that slamming it home, letting you know that that is not the way out any longer. There's something primal that settles along the base of your spine, hearing that slide into place. And he moves forward, collecting the invitation, slipping him inside his pocket, his inside coat breast pocket, and he steps onto the crane at last. And you expect it to begin descending. What you don't expect in a situation like this is for it not only to descend, but to begin moving as if it's on a rail, as if it is taking you elsewhere secretly. And as it descends and finally locks into place, you can tell that it was in fact meant for roughly 20 individuals of average weight, height, and size, because the absence of weight causes the shocks and suspension to turn the standing ride into the calmest roller coaster you've ever been on. However, the equilibrium indifference is still there. The bouncy, jangling, slightly off-kilter movement is still there. There shouldn't be a beneath this close to the beach. There are, of course, sewers and deeper recesses that you all know exist in Hollywood. There are cisterns that have been there since the town was founded. There are basements that are designed as nuclear fallout shelters. There are basements that were designed as bunkers, and there are subterranean access spaces that were designed to be overflow in the case of flooding or tsunamis or what have you. Yet there's no interconnected tunnel system anywhere in Hollywood. So the fact that you are moving north along the Broad Walk this close to the beach is the definition of impossibility for anyone and everyone who has existed in Hollywood longer than a decade and a half. You know this is not something that was easily done nor easily maintained, topped off by the fact that it is clearly unknown.
I'll say to Farrell, is this some kind of NOS thing? Do you guys have some like underground tunnel network I wasn't aware of?
This elaborate? No idea. I mean, I know we occasionally spend time in the sewers, but something like this, I don't think any of us have the money for that. This has got to be like...
This is organized.
This
should be impossible.
This is like the tippy top, man.
Was the money for this then Ventru?
That wouldn't surprise me.
You guys are
As
funny.
you all move,
Nothing is impossible in a dream.
You think we're dreaming? Slap myself.
God, I wish this was a dream.
It's a dream. It's in poor taste.
it is, because the stalactites and the stalagmites and the hand-formed crystallized structure of the stonework around you gives itself over to concrete and reinforced structures. The rough clearly experimental design gives way to something far more formalized. It gives way to an actual super tunnel. It gives way to an actual highway beneath the city. Your roller coaster ride turns into a private car experience for roughly 3.5, almost half a mile. You all come to a rocking, gentle stop. And you realize why 15 minutes was too late. It took you 15 minutes to cover that distance. It took you 15 minutes to take in the massive work that was happening right beneath your feet. So your 15 minutes is now 30 as the crane comes to a rolling, gentle stop. And instead of the security officer moving to open the gate and let you all out, it begins to rise once more. You hear the clink and the bounce, and you all are moving up into the upper level, which is the street level of wherever this is. The moment your heads reach the foundational bedrock of what should be the street level, you begin to hear the music. You begin to hear the manifest of far too many dead voices in need of breathing. Absolutely not. The balance of so many living voices, the scent of excitement of people being elbow to elbow, and various other things begins to waft in your general direction. You've all been around long enough to know what a rave is. This is the antithesis to what a rave should be, because the scent of iron in the air triggers that thing at the heart of each of you all.
Oh, I think we missed something quite big.
You all miss whatever. Go on.
Ryan just grabs Elias's arm. I don't know if it's a bad thing we missed it.
Fashionably late.
It looks... I bet it's probably quite messy. Don't want to ruin your outfit. See, this is why I always dress like this. Doesn't matter if I get dirty then, does it?
Get ready for anything.
Damn right.
So, as you all reach what's the street level of wherever you all are, the sound of enjoyment, the scent of excitement, and other words reaches you. You realize that while everyone understands what a rave is, this is not that. This is something far more kindred based. This is something designed to titillate and excite that thing at the center of you all. For the record, did anyone feed tonight on their way here?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Would have taken too much time for me to sort out my usual way of feeding.
Yeah,
Excellent. Let's see what your hunger actually is. Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll one die and divide by 2? Let's see where your particular hunger is for everyone who did not hunt, for everyone who did not feed.
Fantastic. So how do we use the bot?
You roll and you hit /roll, and then it will prompt you for pool and hunger, but 1 for each one. And your DC, go ahead and hit 1 as well, and it will give you that.
Cool. So it's /roll, pool of 1, hunger of 1, and a difficulty of 1.
Yes.
Cool. Just want to make sure. Elias, if you press slash roll, it should come up like the bot list. And then if you
Has a
press,
little pop-up.
yeah, a little pop up. If you click if you click incognito, then give you like a couple of boxes to fill in and then enter it.
I see. So you can't do it just with text. You have to
No,
click.
you have to follow the prompts.
All right.
All right. Well, Elias, your hunger being 2, and Rick, your hunger being 3, means that scent of iron is a dinner bell. Now, the thing with hunger, so that we have a clear understanding of where it actually states, most instances it is pared down, it is tossed to the side, it's kind of largely ignored. That's not the way that it works. While we in our normal everyday real life get a little peckish, we get appetite, we get hungry, we don't have what the kindred do. That hunger of 1 isn't a wee bit. It's not a little I'm peckish. It is 20% of everything that you are that demands sustenance. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, 20%, but it's not 20% of your thoughts on food. It's not 20% of your thoughts on rent or a game or the weather or what's their name again? No, it's 20% of everything you are. 1 in 5 thoughts. And you know, there's anywhere from 60 to several thousand neurons firing for the average human per minute. 20% of those neurons firing are focused on sustenance. And that's at hunger 1. 40% of those neurons firing every minute are focused on sustenance. 40% of several thousand thoughts or several handfuls of tens of thoughts are about sustenance. It's not a portion of you that's hungry. It is the of your entire being. Every other thought at a point of hunger, such as hunger 3, that's 60% of everything you are. 60% of every thought, 60% of every notion, 60% of every emotion is filtered through the need for sustenance. At 4, it's 80% of everything you are pushing for sustenance. It is not a small thing. Hunger is not it's 3 o'clock, I should probably have a cup of coffee. I should probably get something sweet. You know, that 3 p.m. lull. No, it is every second, every minute, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, or 100% of everything you are pushing for sustenance. Again, everything has a cost, including the promise of forever. So something is out there in the dark ringing your dinner bell. You see finely dressed, well-appointed kindred mingling with extraordinarily well-dressed mortals. You know they're mortals because they have that very de rigueur ability to sweat. They have that very de rigueur ability to maintain and hold on to scents along their skin. They're walking semi-solid bags of liquid at all time. Everything they touch, they leave something behind. Everything that touches them leaves something behind. From the vantage point of the average kindred, who don't sweat, are not porous, they don't have to leave anything that they don't want to. It is roughly akin to watching your younger toddler sibling finger paint through life. It's where you all are. In a fine predicament, a fine mess, with everyone dressed to the nines. And here's the thing that you all don't realize, but only once you step forward. There was an announcement that you all were arriving. Invitations denoted who you all were before you all stepped off the crane. So there are several glances in your direction, a few frowns, a consideration of what you all look like. Several, oh my, yes. And those are the polite ones. You have several mean girls through several corners of the crowd before you. Some literally look you from your shoes to the crown of your head and back down and turn away as if they seem something that offended their sensibilities. Then there are those who are considerably less polite. The oh my god, I would be caught dead in that. Good thing they already are.
How much of that is directed at me, though?
Oh no, it's understood that anyone who shows up so directly and properly ill-suited, and there's no consideration of that. It's what you say about your coterie members that is the consideration of it. It is what your direct pissing on the Mona Lisa says about your coterie members. That is the consideration. You no longer matter because you don't care. You don't exist in their sphere of understanding. Your dress clearly says fuck you. But that fuck you isn't directed at the people you believe it is. It's directed at your coterie. You represent them. They represent you. You all are together. You effectively took the entirety of the stockpile of potential social currency your coterie has and lit it on flame. Everyone is operating from your -2 socially.
And that is why Sumaya's hand twitches every once in a while.
Yeah.
Ryan is just sitting in this, knowing all the eyes, and just partially glad that she redressed Elias, and seething under the surface at Rick and Lacey.
Rick is probably not used. He's very much not used to all the eyes on him. He's half tempted to just cloak his shadows and not have so many eyes on him, but simultaneously he doesn't want to cause any more social faux pas that could get the group possibly in more trouble. So he's gonna grin and bear it, as it were. Not quite.
Feeling the eyes on her from her own coterie, will turn to look. I'm just gonna give them a very small wave. And say, these things are going really.
Rather than just stand there and be the center of attention in the area, Sumaya's gonna move forward as if they weren't horrendously late and start to mingle. Whether anybody follows her, at this point she's too angry to care.
Yeah, I
Ryan
think
is
I'm probably
gonna
heading
follow.
forward as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ryan's gonna follow her closely.
I would also be followed behind quite sheepishly. Probably whispering under my breath, it's like, well, they should have. It's like, well, if I knew it was going to take 15 minutes to get down here, maybe they should have put a little bit of warning to arrive early.
Yeah, how did everyone else know to arrive early?
Exactly my point.
I followed the directions exactly.
As did I. It's not my fault I have to be a bit more careful because I'm fuck ugly.
Actually, I look around. Do we see any other Nos? Curious if there's any other blatant Nosferatu and if they managed to dress up or not. Or if there's anyone else equally dressed as Feral.
Oh, you probably shouldn't do that. One of the very primogen of the city, Doc Octavius, is there. And while normally when glimpsed during an Elysium, while normally when glimpsed at a gathering of the small council or just where there's notable someone of high standing to be there, he dresses in army surplus. He dresses in a nice button down and dirty, dingy jeans, and he's just kind of a funny little guy in whatever clothes he can put his hands on. He is in a bespoke three-piece with a pocket watch. His hat of choice is an Irish flat cap, and he's wearing an actual, honest-to-goodness, classic vintage Rolex.
The more I'm looking around, the more the temptation to just go unseen is getting higher. But with all the eyes on him, I doubt I could even pull it off.
As you all are making your way through and escaping the central pathway, which puts you pretty much framed center stage, as it were. Rimsey, one of the mid-respected members of the community. He's, as far as you all know, he's a courier. As far as you all are aware, he goes here, he goes there, he shows up, and he doesn't show up. And he's in a... This is ridiculous that it's even such a thing, but it actually is. He is in a tailored muscle shirt, his 3-roped chain, gold necklace, his half a forearm filled with various watches and jewelry, and his jeans, which because everyone's exposed to some semblance of overdone and overwrought fast fashion, would set you back up about $2,500, and he makes his way over. Oh my God! I thought that you guys wouldn't be here now. I thought you definitely wouldn't show up, especially when Dr. Ock made it. How's everybody doing? Having fun yet? Did you guys get a chance to hear the sales pitch? You buy your own condo? No? Okay, cool. Here's the thing. You guys look like shit, but nobody really cares as long as you drink the Kool-Aid. And by Kool-Aid, I mean all of the free to you vitae on hand. There's 4 rooms, and he starts pointing across the floor to the various spaces. Those are filled with donors if you want the hot. Or, take this. You hear that stupid shit that the Tremere do with blood wine? They've got blood whiskey. I'll see you guys around. And he moves.
He seems excited.
There, it has been a long time since I've had a whiskey. I'm actually going to follow that guy.
How long have you been dead, Rick?
3 years.
So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite, Rick's favorite food, it probably would be, you know what? Lasagna.
Does he like a meat lasagna, or do he like a sausage lasagna with a little bit of a kick to it?
He loves a nice, rich, savory beef one.
Nice. It's been 3 years since it's been 3 years since he had that, and someone just told him there was a way he can actually taste it again. How would he feel?
He is insanely curious about that now. And he is going to be following along to learn how the hell this is possible, because he's been told since his embrace, good luck, you're not enjoying normal food ever again. Blood is everything to you now. Get used to it.
Has he tried any real food? Has he tried to make a lie out of them? Did he test it? Did he add a veracity of proof?
Indeed, he would have Within the first few months, he probably would have tried some other foods just to make sure. He's thinking through, like, he's going through like the 5 stages at that point, so he's kind of in bargaining. He's like, he's got to find something that's normal. He can't just feed off of people. That's mad. But everything he's tried has just been, ash. It's been horrid. He can't keep it down. And he's kind of slowly come to accept the fact that this is his new life. And now he's just been told, hey, you can have whiskey again. You can maybe even have food again. And now he's kind of got a bit of whiplash, but he needs to know how the hell they've managed this.
So as Elias and Rick head off with everyone's friend in mind, Ramsey, Samaya, Lacey, Ryan, what are you guys up to?
Ryan's gonna follow Elias because she's not letting him out of her sight. He's gonna look back to Samaya. Something doesn't seem right about this.
I think we should stick together, and donors can be had everywhere. Whiskey? Not so much.
Samaya forgets how wealthy she is. The average kindred of your coder can't afford donors without hunting themselves. It's only as it actually escapes her that she begins to look around at some of the people who are here. These are kindred that you really don't consider kindred. I mean, how are you going to be dead for 15 years and don't have an IRA protected via a irrevocable trust in perpetuity? You've been dead for 25 years. How the fuck don't you own your condo? Why are you renting? You've been dead for 40 years. Why don't you own a vehicle that's unlisted? Like, this makes no sense. And then you realize that most of these kindred were never taught. They never learned. So they're continuing the same lifestyle they had in life. Hand, mouth, check. Source of income to source of income. And it's not even income at that point. It is literally source of living. Nothing stacks, nothing builds. There's no interest gained. The dollars don't work for them. They work for the dollars.
She's basically seeing a lot of Walking Dead and not in their way.
Yes, and more. Which is odd, because there are enough living individuals here for this to be literally the most exclusive club that you've ever seen in Hollywood. Just the travel to get here, just the level of secrecy that is here and inherent. This is literally, again, that damn word, fucking impossible. And you all missed the sales pitch. So you don't know what this is all about, save that everyone is enjoying themselves. You don't know how they knew who you all were, save that everyone is enjoying themselves. Everyone is literally dancing away their pain. Everyone is literally feeding away their solace and sadness. Everyone is literally here reaching towards the heights of who they believe and want themselves to be. As Samaya and Ryan, Rick and Elias head out after Ramsey, what is it that you're doing?
Where did Tristan get to? Is he still
No,
out and
he's
about?
not. He is not.
Oh,
You're quick and light on your feet. And yet, Tristan was just here. Just before Ramsey, before you all left the main entranceway. And as you think back, do me a favor, go ahead and roll your wits plus insight. How much do you remember of what exactly took place in those few moments as everyone's mingling, as your mind leading you all out of center stage? How much is it that is clear in your reckoning? Standard DC, in case you're wondering.
As this is a desire, or is it a desire, can I use my specialty?
What's your specialty?
That's listed as the specialty is listed as desires.
More of a curiosity, but sure, in this instance, we'll give it to you. Go ahead. DC is 3. Which plus insight. See how much you remember. How much comes to mind in the absorption of all of this data? Because that's literally what this is. There are pockets of kindred that are not from Hollywood, but frequent or visit Hollywood. Most of them from Fort Lauderdale, but then there are others, you're not exactly sure where they come from, but you may have seen them once or twice before. Mixed and mingled with them are police officers that you've seen in passing, fire truck members that you've seen in passing, not fire department, because you've only seen them on the fire truck. Then there are, wait, isn't that a judge? Yeah, that's the circuit court judge. I saw his advertisement on a bus stop. Then there's, and down the list it goes, these persons of finery and standing, these kindred, both from the height of the mountain of status to the absolute pits of despair, in this most exclusive of impossible places. It's data and data and data and lights flashing, bodies moving, scents bombarding your nose. It is a feast for the senses. If you were able to literally tap into, what's her name? Claudia, 4 weeks ago, beautiful Latina, fresh up from Miami, believes in free love and free living, refuses to get a place to stay, stays in her car or on someone's couch or on someone's beach. When it rains, she bathes in public. She, outside of her penchant to just go to excess, she's a beautiful person to have a conversation with. And it doesn't help and doesn't hurt that she grows her own magic mushrooms and makes sure that she samples as often as possible. And you fed on her about 4 weeks ago and were able just to watch the waves come in and go out and come in. And it was the best rock concert you've ever been to in the entirety of your existence. That's what this place would be if you had a moment to sip from Claudia and stand here, and this place would be magnificent. Oh fuck! Wait, where's Tristan? You remember? He was right here. And wait, no, that girl. No, that was it. Was that a girl? Was it a guy? They had auburn hair. Did they have a tattoo? No, they had 2 tattoos. No, there was 3 tattoos. No, wait, what were they wearing? Was it a off the shoulder or was it a halter top? Wait, no. Was it bell bottoms or was it? No, it wasn't bell bottoms. They had flared leg. No, those weren't flared leg pants. Those was a skirt. No, it wasn't a long skirt. It was a short skirt. Yeah, it was burgundy. No, that was wine, not burgundy. But burgundy is a wine, isn't it? Just like port. As you're,
And that's where she's kind of got her hands to her ears, trying to block out the overabundance of sound, and has closed her eyes and just is kind of swaying in place, trying to recenter herself.
Claudia tasted like bad decisions and the best of luck. Claudia tasted like an angel. Claudia tasted like happy memories and the tears that come. Claudia tasted like tomorrow was already here. and you got to live it yesterday. You're experiencing that and enjoying that moment as best as you can, because to center yourself and try to escape, it is the natural human reaction to find some place calm, which is usually a happy or at least an absent of sad place. And that for you, because of most recent memory, is Claudia. Orange skin, tasting of salt and air. That smile that seemed to know what was in your deepest, darkest recesses of you, and she was still accepting of you. Claudia tasted like. And while that's happening, Ramsey leads you four across the floor. You guys are following along, and as he moves through the crowd, it's clear that he's a known face, not just in the Kindred community, but in the local partiers. Well, the local exclusive parties, because you see a couple of people who wave at him, and he's like, no, right now, oh, I don't need anything, and they can come over, dap up, and that usual exchange of camaraderie that says we've done business, and I'm happy with the business that we've done. And then as he continues on, there's a guy who leans over, big, huge, modern Viking, man bun, beard down to his belly button, bear hugs him and gives him a big kiss on the ear and sits him down. It's good to see you, Robinson! Ramsey laughs it off and keeps moving. You guys coming too? Hey, right over here! And he steps into one of the rooms, one of the side spaces where the donors are. He didn't go to where the whiskey was served freely, but he went to where the donors were. Because in with the donors, there's also cocktail servers moving with mint juleps, old fashions. There's a few rock glasses of neat on there. Some with ice, some with rocks, and some without. So, of course, if it's neat, it's supposed to be without rocks. Yeah, this is overly decadent. There's no way. There's no way, because when you step in, that beautiful corn sweetened ambrosia of bourbon slaps you in the nose like a little kid brother that hasn't seen you since you went away to college. The moment you step in and you're hit with that beautiful caramel sweetness, part of you immediately wants to recoil, except your beast knows underneath all of that caramel goodness, underneath all of that heaven, there's fucking blood. That's fucking blood.
Yeah, just grab one.
Rick will very cautiously grab one and actually properly sniff it. He wants to know, one, is this actual bourbon? Two, can he actually really drink this again and actually taste alcohol again?
Samaya snags one of the old fashions.
Ryan will take a mint julep.
Does it even have the orange twist in it?
It does. And it's hand muddled. None of that crap you've seen on the beaches where they throw the ingredients into a blender, pour it into the bottom of the glass, and then top it off with a half-ass straight pour on top of it. No, this is hand muddled. This is curated in its creation. And as each of you have a glass in hand and you smell heaven, your beast, each and every last one, also takes in the very much. There's a life in this glass. And the only thing that would make your beast say that is blood itself. Somehow, what is in this glass, in these rocks glasses that you all are holding and sniffing and intuiting, is the real deal. Somehow, this is immortality affirming blood. And it is also soul affirming bourbon.
Rick's hand is actually kind of shaking a bit because of he's simultaneously excited to try real drink again, but he's also terrified it's just going to end up the same way as he tried the last time.
Yeah, just go straight to it. I pick it up. Smells like whiskey. Smells like blood. Sounds perfect. Down.
reduce your hunger by 1.
He will.
Maya curls her lip at how quickly the whiskey goes down Elias's throat.
He'll say, "Don't worry, everyone. I feel fine. Tastes great." Does it actually
That
taste like
wasn't
whiskey?
what I was reacting to, dear. That wasn't what I was reacting to at all.
Haven't we had
She sips.
conversations about preparations for social gatherings before? And wasn't eating one of those preparations?
Rick will take down his hood and actually take off his mask. So, for those who haven't actually seen his face before, you're probably in for quite a bit of shock. As now you can quite clearly see his face a bit more. You can see that the change that Nosferatu go through, it was not kind to him. His nose. Sorry. I'll let you go.
Ryan, Elias, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your resolve plus composure versus your bane plus 2?
Because what you take in is he is pretty much completely bald. His ears are a bit pointed, but that's not the worst of it. It's his face. Across his face, along dark veins, his eyes seem, now that you can actually get a proper look at it and he's not trying to deliberately conceal it, his eyes are noticeably much larger. His nose is completely missing. All that remains is basically the bridge of his nose. And so you can see right into his nasal cavity. And when he does eventually psych himself up and take the sip of his drink, you can see his teeth are almost like needles.
Question real quick. The Bane severity is 2 by default?
Yes, and of course you add to blood potency, which changes it.
All right. Did you say we do just Bane severity difficulty, or was it higher than that?
It was
Bane severity plus 2.
All right. Oh, it's difficult.
And he's kind of not even paying attention to you because he is just excited at the prospect of trying real food again, or real drink.
I think that's probably why I'm not affected. I'm so focused on my drink, I'm not really paying attention to him.
As he takes a sip, he savors it as he realizes, holy shit, this is actually bourbon I can drink. This isn't just ash in my mouth again. And he will slowly nurse that drink like it's the most precious thing in the world.
Of course, I pass and you fail.
of course.
Ryan, you've seen worse things. You can't remember where, but you know you have. You've lived in and around Hollywood the entirety of your life. You know for a fact you've seen worse things. You cannot, for the life of you, remember where, because as you're staring at Rick, all of the worst memories of your life are being rewritten with his face. All of the horrible moments that you've survived getting to where you are, including your own death, are being rewritten with his face.
Oh my god. She
And
drops
for the first
her
time
drink.
tonight, you see Sumaya smile as if she's really finally enjoying herself.
Seeing Ryan's horror.
Like he
Yeah.
is like, for a brief moment, Rick is human again, and he longs for that feeling so much because of how young he is. So
I think
he's barely even registering your reactions. He has got eyes closed. He is absolute euphoria right now. That is just not ash in his mouth again.
I honestly think I'm in a very similar place to Rick, enjoying my drink, and I'll clink your drink, just seeing that you're having a similar experience.
Oh god.
He will happily clink back. It's like, I never thought I'd taste this again.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to get more of this.
Oh yeah, at least 2 bottles.
Ryan very much wants to scream, but she can't find the breath for it because she gasped and is
Ryan,
just frozen.
are you okay? Your drink's not working for you?
She just drops the drink, just staring at him, just mouth agape, like terrified.
And in that moment, he's brought back to reality, to what he is, and that moment of bliss is gone, and he just stares like, I told you I was prettier under the mask.
You're absolutely darling.
Thank
Should
you.
get Ryan another drink.
Something tells me she's gonna need it.
The moment the glass hits the floor, normally you expect everyone to, or someone to rush over. I'll get it. No one fucking cares. That's ridiculous. You've been in extremely exclusive venues. You've been in extremely luxurious venues, and even in places where they go out of their way to not make anyone feel bad if accidents happen. They clean up without being asked. No one operates as if they don't care. It's, yes, it happened. Yes, let me show you how effective I am and efficient I am in removing it from becoming a problem. You dropped what is effectively a $3,000 antique onto the floor, and no one batted an eyelash. No one trembled. No one gasped. No one guffawed. No one did the usual pointing and laughing when someone's too drunk to have another drink but continue tries to drinking. None of those responses are happening. And as a toreador who's been around for a while, there's a certain etiquette in every situation. This is beyond that. This is skewing the data of what's possible and likely in such situations. None of the normal responses to the shattered glass or to Rick's features or to the human drive towards Schadenfreude. None of that. And strangely enough, it's that lack of the usual behavior that brings you back to the fact that Samaya is the one that offered you a new drink.
That is another thing. I'm probably still not quite used to it, but the fact that nobody seems to care about my appearance except for her is kind of a bit reeling, because he's used to people freaking out. So he's probably definitely got another ear up. Like, okay, something might be going on.
Also, do I feel affected at all?
Yeah.
Or me.
You haven't had a drink in how long?
I've been dead for 8 years.
Oh yeah, will I have removed the hunger as well, or is it just because I'm
Yes.
slowly nursing? Okay, because
Yes.
I am slowly nursing it. I'm savoring it.
Yes. Once you're done with it, you remove a hunger as you're slowly nursing. But yes, very much so. It literally is bourbon. You've been stone cold sober for 8 years, except for what you may have stumbled upon by one of your donors, the people that you've hunted, if you've hunted. Some people just drink bags. Some people just drink their friends. Some people drink their friends as bags. What has Elias managed to do? How does he normally obtain his sustenance?
Elias is mostly a Sandman. I sneak
He's a
into
creeper.
people's homes in the middle of the night when they're dead asleep and carefully feed without bothering them.
So he's a creeper.
Yes. He thinks that's probably the most humane way to feed, because there's no distress.
Mhm.
They don't even know anything happened.
Yeah, they know something's happened, unfortunately. But no one ever puts it together. There's a reality, a physiological response to being fed upon that as a Sandman, as someone who gets up close and personal, he's able to watch happen, or at least catch the odoriferous remnants of it happening. All of the pleasure centers of your victim's brain explode into the presence when you feed.
So bad?
So good for them. They are aware that something happened last night.
You're more
But
or
then-
less giving them a wet dream.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
I see nothing
But
wrong with this.
But
I
it's
think
not
he
just
just-
the. I'm going. Go on.
I think he just thinks that's the most humane thing to do.
It is just the emissions of their lusts, their physiological response to lust, but it's also all of those gastronomic pleasures that you've been denied. It is literally every endorphin that exists. That great cry at a movie that strokes the heartstrings, those tears, that extraordinarily sometimes explosive gas after a fine meal, all of the gastronomic pleasures that happen, all of the juices and acids, all of it is literally a soup of your endorphins exploding in that moment of being fed upon. He gets to be up close and personal with all of the things that he lost 8 years ago. He gets to give that to them in a way that they can't feel bad about. Yeah, he's a creeper. He slips in and slips out like a forgotten dream. But his victims, all they remember is the pleasure of it. And yeah, the next day is grayer for it. They're sitting at breakfast and their mind filling in what could have taken place the night before that caused them to feel so great when they woke up, and now the world seems grayer. Takes a while to get back intimate with their lovers. Takes a while to find something that doesn't taste like shit afterwards. But that night, when he feeds on them, oh God, it is some of the best things that they will never remember. Speaking of never remember, Claudia, her eyes look like the tangerine skies of the first summer sunset. And that's what brings you back to center. Balanced and not seeing the back of your head. Balanced and not watching as you hold your hands to your ears. Balanced and not watching how the emanations from the nearest speaker cause your jacket to gently sway as if you're hit by a breeze. Balance and remembering that you are here with others, and as that thought finally occurs to you and the world around you is easier to deal with, easier to experience in the moment, in the now, you catch sight of. You know you shouldn't. You shouldn't even, they shouldn't even be in Hollywood to begin with. They shouldn't be anywhere near Hollywood, let alone here in this most exclusive elite of places. But they are. And you're not sure what made you look directly in that angle from where you're standing. But that's fucking Inez Fernandez. And why is that a big deal? Because she's effectively one of the people's representative of the anarch state of Miami. And she's right there moving between the crowd, heading towards one of those back rooms over there. For all of the jeering jest tossed at Prince Bogach, the truth of the matter is, if you see something and don't say something, you might as well be the one responsible for doing whatever happens next. But someone always sees someone noticing something and not reporting it. And Bogach is old school. And by old school, I mean Old Testament. Absolutely medieval. She feels that you betrayed her or the people of Hollywood. She feels that you had an opportunity of doing something and didn't. To put it plainly and directly, that's your ass.
So would it be better for me to get somebody to get her, or do I go get her?
You go get her and find out what the fuck she's up to, because if you can't tell what she actually did, guess what? You did whatever that was.
Okay, well that's where Lacey's going. In that moment of clarity, it's, oh shit. She ain't supposed to be here, and goes for her.
Funny, the way that these things work. Everyone understands that a rising tide raises all ships. But two things moving in the same direction will get there roughly at the exact same time in a situation where the people are in their feelings of pleasure. Flowing and moving with the crowd seems to be a natural thing for those of your ilk. Because everything's just a dream anyway. You get to control your dream, kind of, sort of, if you understand what you're doing. And that's what you and Inez are doing. As the frolickers and partiers are moving, you all are moving to the beat underneath the people's movements and making your way through the crowd nearly at the exact same speed. Except for Inez is veering farther and farther to the left away from that back room. She steps into a door that is clearly a hallway and you follow. You're not sure exactly how you got here, but this hallway seems to go around the rooms, north, turning east, before turning again south, and then making a quick left to turn back east and out. And you following her around, and you realize as you get ready to make that last turn, the one that's just there that you know leads out of whatever this building is, whatever this space is, you see through the service window, the two-way mirror, your coder members inside enjoying drinks and standing around like they're rich people and having a conversation. I'll take the kids out on the yacht this weekend.
She's focused, but that makes her frown. Because that's what she's been trying to escape the whole time. Her family members, these people now remind her of what she left behind. So there's a frown, but focus. Need to catch her, need to make sure she's not up to no good. Because we don't want to be blamed for this.
No, you don't. As she makes that left and you pause and slow down just long enough to watch as she makes that left and you make the left quickly behind her, like, no, fuck it out, come back here. She gets to the door at the end of the hall. And just like you saw in your mind's eye, that is the door out. But as she opens the door, she stops. And the night air is coming in. You can smell the salt. You can hear the seagulls. You can see the neon from the other clubs in the area. And you know that you are still along the broad walk, except for you are at the other end of it. The part that bothers you. Because the other end of the broad walk, you get closer and closer to Celeste's salon. The other end of the broad walk is down there by, well, just trouble. Let's just call it what it is. You're not far from where Ocean 13 Sports is, Celeste's Salon. There's a lot of nightclubs that appeal to both the tourists and the rich elite of Hollywood. It is there specifically to be seen spending money. There's not any great food. There's not any great ambiance. It is literally there to be seen spending money, to prove to the world that you have an exploitable financial situation. So as she stops there in the door with it ajar, you move close enough that you can say something to her. Or maybe, you know what, I need you to get the fuck out of here and don't come back. Don't do anything because you haven't done anything yet. But, you know, this is probably not the place for you situation. You have an opportunity of speaking maybe some good words, some good sense into her so that you don't have to be the one that bring her before Principal Gotch. But she's standing there in the fucking doorway. What do you do?
You're gonna try to grab her, I guess.
Excellent. Nothing like putting your hands on somebody to make you feel better about your evening. But as you go and grab her, you get a glimpse as to what she's looking at. And what she's looking at is the fact that of all places, like if you're going to sleep outside, if you're going to go lay down and take, 5-minute nap, like this is probably one of the worst places to take a 5-minute nap. Yeah, that's exactly what Christian is doing. He's laying there staring up at the night sky, his eyes wide open and not reflecting light. There's something dark and pooling underneath him and smells a little melon sweet mixed with iron. And he's not moving. Like, he clearly sees you and her standing in the doorway, but he's just there staring at the night sky. Wait, he's not staring. Luckily for you, Kendra don't have to breathe, so you're not looking for his chest to rise and fall. But you are, because most of you all do it from force of habit without thinking about it. But his chest isn't rising or falling. And he's a baby wizard. He still breathes. You even seen him fucking sweat. Not because something super difficult was happening, but because he was still stuck in his state of living. He's not breathing. He's not sweating. He's not blinking. He's just laying there in a puddle of something dark and melon sweet with a hint of iron behind it. Oh, you know what that is. That's Vitae. That's what's inside of you. But why is there so much of it underneath him? Just pulling into the concrete. Just...
I look at the person I went to grab. They broke him. Oh shit. Pinata? Fuck. I need help. I need help. I'm gonna let you go this time, okay? But I better not fucking see you here. And I turn to go get help.
You get back to where you made that left, but it's standing in front of you, and it's a right you would need to make. But standing right there on the other side of the glass is your coterie. What do you do?
I start fucking banging on that glass like I'm trying to break it.
It's like, so Rick, you ever been on a yacht? I was just thinking about it. What's that banging?
I never. No, I never. What? No, yeah, what is that? I'm gonna put my hood back up as well, just either for Ryan's comfort, not the mask, because I'm still enjoying drink, but I'll put my hood back up just for other people's comfort in case some people are. And it's like, yeah, what is? I think that's on the glass.
Go check it
Ryan,
out.
here's your fresh drink. What are you all staring at the wall for?
Oh, there's some banging over there.
I will go
I'll
investigate.
go bang back.
I'll go investigate and maybe even go to the other side. I'll go outside and go to the other side to see what it is.
I'm not gonna let them leave. So
Well,
Ryan's gonna follow Elias to the wall.
well, that's the funny thing about situations like this, because it's not really a wall. It's a mirror door. As Lacey is hitting the backside of it, as Elias heads over to the wall to look at it, there's what's Elias's wits plus larceny?
Let's see. That'll be 4.
So average of 2? Okay.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he pushes it. As the wall is being hit on, he pushes it. And there's that click, that push lock that should not actually be there, but it's a great way to hide egresses. And Lacey's standing there. Her eyes moist and soaked in vitae like tears.
Yeah. Well,
I
hey, what's
grab-
wrong? Are you okay?
I grab him because he's closest, and I'm babbling about pinatas and melons and dragging him with me back down the hallway.
It's okay. I'm sure they
Careful,
might have
that's
some
just
butane melons.
silk.
Do I notice him get grabbed out?
Yes, it looks like a horror movie. He yoink, and he's gone.
Hey! I will quickly follow after. I will quickly follow after him. It's like, I'll watch him if you want to enjoy your drink.
It's okay. We can get you a new pinata.
No.
Hey.
No. Just Tristan, pinata, blood, melons. No.
Lacey, hey, where the hell are you lot going?
I don't know.
What?
Something about Tristan. I think she found Tristan.
Look, everyone here has blood. This is a party. They serve refreshments. This is a normal thing.
Victorian. This is outside blood, not inside blood.
All right, let's go see. Come on. And then, I'll head over there pretty quick.
Oh,
Shemaya's gonna follow as well because she's seen Lacey before, and usually she can keep her cool.
from what I know of, from what I know of her, I know she can. She's usually calmer than this, so I'd also be a bit concerned as well to chase after her. And it's like, at the very least, for Elias's sake, in case things go weird, as Malkavians can be.
Things go pear-shaped really quickly as you all follow down the hall as Lacey's leading you forward. You realize melon sweet. That's very much the scent of vitae. That iron-tinged melony freshness that should be impossible in blood is what vitae tastes like. When you've accidentally, sometimes on purpose, taking a quick, long sip from a friend who happens to be as dead as you are, that's exactly what's there on the tip of your tongue.
Oh, shit.
And as you all head down the tunnel, and it's not that far, it's only about 42 feet. As you all reach the end, and that safety kick plate door is there, and Lacey backs into it, opening it. That scent, that iron-tinged melony goodness of kindred vitae hits your nose. And laying there in a puddle of the stuff, with the neon lights of the clubs around you all reflecting in his life juice, is Tristan, staring at the sky. But he's not staring, because there's nothing inside him to look out. That beast in the heart of each of you all knows what death is. Even as it's an impossibility, because you all have the promise of forever. You have the promise of unending forever. And each of you all have suffered through years of this unending forever and know the hint, the essence of what immortality is. Tristan did not. He's only been deceased for the last 3 months. He is the newest of you all. He is the youngest of you all. And there is not another night ahead for him. Laying there in his own vitae with these strange neon-like sigils on his corpse, because that's what he is now.
All right.
Yo,
I immediately go detective. I'm like, this is bad.
What the fuck? He was right fucking behind us.
What are all these symbols? What? This shouldn't have happened. There were people everywhere.
Fuck, man.
How did we lose? Lacey, you were right next to him. What?
Hey.
When did you lose him?
Claudia's fault because I lost him. But then there's an anarch, and she was using the tunnels to get through here. Did you know this is on the other side of the Broadway? We're like a different part of town than we started.
Wait, what anarch? What are you talking about? There's no anarchs here.
She was. I chased her, so I found him because she was here.
So are you saying an anarch did this?
I don't know.
He's
She
not
went through the
doing that.
door.
He's definitely not in that other state that we get into. He's gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone. Are there witnesses, like other people
I'm
around
gonna
that
be
can see
looking
this?
up and down the way to see if there's any other people as well.
Yeah, I immediately want to secure the area, make sure there's no one that can see what's happening.
Are there any cameras?
You know the funny thing about preparing an engagement where you're going to be dealing with kindred, when it's being prepared by kindred, the first thing to go are the cameras. This space was prepared for kindred. This evening was prepared with kindred in mind. You all are at a free-flowing opening night of a thing. It is clearly that this is an enterprise larger than, well, that's a good question. How large would such an enterprise be that has such a width of kindred society flowing in and through it and maintaining a level of secrecy because you're not even in the location where you started? So even if you were to rat out and say, oh yeah, it's over here at the whole, but how? Where are you?
I'm still thinking in mortal minds. Like, fuck.
I'd like to examine it with my heightened senses, see if I can get any odd sense on him, sense of anyone else on him.
You can. He clearly had a hell of a time. There's lipstick stains and various other liquids about him, mixed underneath and connecting to or next to these neon sigils. And these neon sigils are neon because it looks as if someone has found a way to make Vitae radioactive. You all know what Vitae tastes like. You know what Vitae smells like. And that's what those sigils are branded onto his skin with, Vitae. And yet they're flowing and glowing and dissipating as you watch. And there's kisses, lipstick marks, and various other signs that he's been engaged in enjoying. And that's not odd. Tristan was a popular artist in the right community, in the right niche. People who go in for that new age occultism, people who go in for avant-garde art, people who go in for the new wave. He was popular. So the chances of him finding someone willing to throw themselves at him repeatedly here in a place where they serve an honest to goodness handmade Sazerac and an old fashioned made of Vitae isn't even money. It's even bet that, yeah, he enjoyed himself until they enjoyed him.
Am I able to get any specific scent? Basically, if I try to bloodhound it?
I'm gonna open and sense the unseen and look through that sense around as well.
It is a mess of a mess. And nothing says trouble like the fact that you've all created a scene when you arrived. You found a hidden egress. How long before someone comes through that tunnel looking for you all? You all did leave the party through a secret exit in front of everyone. As a cop, you want to control the scene. You realize that your scene presently is not controlled as you crouch and begin scenting the bodies, picking up hints of perfume and jasmine and magnolia and sea salt and seagulls and sand and...
You know, I want to drag him inside before really doing anything that takes more than a couple seconds.
No. Don't drag him inside.
Like, we need to get him out.
Lacey and I will stay on this side of the door. The bigger threat is inside. We will keep a watch. You guys figure out what
no one's back there. What's back there? Look, that's an open. Is there another room back there? Holy shit!
Ryan just slams the door on all of them, keeping Lacey next to her.
They're gonna find out he's dead. We need to make sure the public doesn't find out about this. There's people around.
With that problem sitting there before you all, as you try to decide what to do and how to do it, thank you all. I'd like to thank you all for a lovely episode. I'll see you guys next week. We'll pick up exactly right here with the oncoming footfall of individuals rushing direction, with Ryan slamming the door shut with her and Lacey acting as a buffer, with the considerations as to what happened to Tristan and what the fuck are those. How did someone make Vitae neon dayglow paint in a few moments? What is this place that you're taking part of, or took part of, or maybe in the midst of getting ready to shut down? Nothing says decommission like a death. And as we consider those things for the next time, I'd like to say thank you. Earnestly, 100%. You're going to get tired of me saying thank you, but you also need to know that I mean it 100%. We don't get old and stop playing. We get old because we've stopped playing. Our elasticity becomes brittle. Our ability to explore and experience just because goes away. Thank you all for the opportunity of staying as young mentally as I possibly am. And hopefully you've enjoyed the first inaugural episode. And I look forward to playing with you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Right?
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Yeah, I have to say that's not a great situation to be in.
That's a
Not at all.
hell of
Nope.
a